126 actual. Target is in the main house. You have execute authority.
Bravo 6. Going dark.
How's it going, troops? Jordan here, back again with another Call of Duty Modern Warfare Loadout video. In today's loadout video, we are going to be creating yet another military base class setup. Today we are grabbing our thermals and crossing over the Atlantic to the Great White North, as we join Canada's Tier 1 Special Forces and become a soldier of JTF2. This one has again been requested by a few people in the comment section, so make sure you give this video a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and without further ado, let's take a look at our mission briefing. This is going to be a special op loadout representing Joint Task Force 2. We're going to engage enemies in counter-terrorism operations, and lastly, we're going to use special reconnaissance equipment to identify hostiles and take them out. Joint Task Force 2, which is often shortened to just JTF2, is Canada's most elite special operations forces, operating in counter-terrorism, direct action, special reconnaissance and hostage rescue. Joint Task Force 2 was originally set up in 1992, when the Deputy Minister of Defence Robert Fowler suggested the government create a new military counter-terrorism group. A year later, JTF2 was born. One of JTF2's biggest operations was during the Bosnian War, when JTF2 forces were inserted into Bosnia in small fire teams to hunt down hostile Serbian snipers targeting UN forces at the Sniper Alley. Operation Freedom 5-5 was a mission to rescue 55 hostages captured by the Bosnian Serbs. However, the mission was cancelled due to the prisoners all being released voluntarily. Moving forward to the early 2000s, in the beginnings of the War on Terror, Joint Task Force 2 was sent to southern Afghanistan to collaborate with the Americans in joint operations, the first of its kind since World War II. Many operations included targeting a Taliban command centre and Operation Anaconda, a joint attack with recon assistance on Taliban and Al-Qaeda forces. Most recently, a report from June 2017 claimed that a JTF2 sniper in Iraq had shot and killed an ISIS insurgent from a distance of 3,540 meters, setting a world record for the longest confirmed kill. Not much is known about JTF2 and their operations in 2020, as the majority of information about them is kept classified and not commented on by the Canadian government. We can only assume they are out there somewhere, undercover and waiting for their next call. So let's begin by taking a look at our primary weapon that we're going to be equipping. Joint Task Force 2 use a variety of weaponry, but are very keen in using assault rifles and carbines from weapons firm Colt Canada. Colt Canada produce a number of firearms for JTF2, such as the Colt C7 and Colt C8. The Colt C7 is more of an assault rifle that can be converted into other long-range configurations, whereas the Colt C8 is more of an assault carbine. So for this loadout, we'll recreate the Colt C8 in-game. In order to recreate this carbine, we need to choose an assault rifle, and a similar weapon produced by the American Colt company is the M4A1, so we'll kit this out as our primary weapon. But of course we can't go in bare bones, so let's equip some attachments for our M4A1. For our first attachment, we're going to be choosing a barrel, and the barrel that I've gone for is the FSS 11.5 inch Commando. The Colt C8 is a carbine, so we need to get that short barreled look on point. The FSS 11.5 inch Commando does this, and provides us with a faster aim down sights time and increased movement speed. Good for clearing out tight spaces. For our second attachment, we're going to be choosing a laser, and the laser I've gone for is the TAC laser. JTF2 typically attach flashlights to their assault kits, but since we don't have this option in game, we'll equip the TAC laser sight, which protrudes a green visible laser when quickly aiming down sights. For our third attachment, we're going to be choosing an optic, and the optic that I've gone for this time is the canted hybrid. Cylindrical scopes are usually fixed on top of the Colt C8, but since we're going to be clearing buildings of tangos, we'll choose the canted hybrid, which gives us a scout optic and a side mounted reflex sight for those quick engagement switches during missions. For our fourth attachment, we're going to be choosing a stock, and the stock that I've gone for is the Forge Tac CQS. This tactical streamlined stock gives us the advantage in close quarters combat by improving our ADS reaction time significantly, so the Forge Tac CQS stock will be our fourth attachment. And lastly, for our fifth and final attachment, we're going to be choosing an underbarrel, and the underbarrel that I have gone for is the M203 40mm Recon. Joint Task Force 2 specialise in surveillance and reconnaissance, so we want to locate where our enemies are. This undermounted grenade launcher fires out a snapshot grenade and highlights any enemies that get caught up in its blast radius. This attachment is perfect for one of our mission goals, and so that's why it will be our fifth and final attachment. So those are going to be our attachments for the M4A1. Now let's move on to our secondary weapon of choice for this loadout. There's only two side-ons that JTF2 use on their operations, and these weapons are the 6-hour P226 and 6-hour P229. The P229 is more used as a concealed firearm, but the P226 is most commonly used during counter-terrorist missions, so the 6-hour P226 will be our selected pistol. We don't have this weapon in game as such, but the M19 pistol in Modern Warfare looks near enough identical, so we'll equip the M19 as our secondary weapon. And just like our primary weapon, we can't go in bare bones, so let's equip some attachments for our M19. For our first attachment, we're going to be choosing a laser, and the laser I've gone for is the 1 megawatt laser. As I've mentioned, flashlights are equipped to JTF2 weaponry and equipment, and while we don't have any flashlights in Modern Warfare, the 1 megawatt laser looks like an undermounted flashlight on the M19. So we'll use this as our first attachment. For our second attachment, we're going to be choosing a weapon perk, and the weapon perk I've gone for is frangible disabling. JTF2 are a powerful special forces team, and so to show off this power, we're going to use some crippling power against the bad guys. Frangible disabling slows enemy movement when bullets fire into them, increasing our chances of securing the kill. So we'll use this weapon perk as our second attachment. And lastly, for our third attachment, we're going to be choosing a rear grip, and I've gone for the rubberized grip tape. The M19 has a fast fire rate, so it's best to control that recoil as much as. The rubberized grip tape keeps our pistol tight in our hands, so we'll use this grip tape as our third and final attachment. So those are going to be our primary and secondary weapons for this class setup. Now let's take a look at our perks and equipment that we're going to be selecting. For our first tier perk, we're going to be choosing Cold-Blooded. When sneaking behind enemy lines, JTF2 must keep invisible and remain undetectable so they don't follow the mission objective and compromise their squad. Cold-Blooded, as the name suggests, obscures our heat signature against enemy thermal scopes, AI controlled killstreaks and targeting systems. This perk is perfect to stealthily move from A to B and ambush assailants, so Cold-Blooded will be our tier 1 perk. For our second tier perk, we're going to be choosing Ghost. Joint Task Force 2 are like shadows in the night. You never see them coming. As a special forces unit, JTF2 are briefed behind closed doors at any given time and can appear anywhere in the world from out of nowhere, almost like a ghost. Ghost in Modern Warfare keeps us hidden off enemy minimaps and gives us the upper hand to flank around and take down the bad guys, so we'll choose Ghost as our tier 2 perk. And finally, for our third tier perk, we're going to be choosing Battle Hardened. Military helmets are worn by JTF2 soldiers to allow them to protect their head from incoming gunfire and any other potential accidents. These helmets also allow for tactical lights to be equipped and used if necessary. In Modern Warfare, the Battle Hardened perk features a military helmet and grants us increased protection against tactical grenades like flashbangs and stuns, so we'll choose this as our third and final perk. Moving on to our equipment, for our lethal equipment I have chosen the frag grenade. Fragmentation grenades are frequently carried by JTF2 in case they need to clear out a room or floor full of bad guys. We can choose the frag grenade in Modern Warfare and throw these into windows, doors and rooms to take out any campers that may be hiding, so the frag grenade will be our lethal equipment. For our tactical equipment, we're going to go with the flash grenade. Tactical grenades like tear gas and flashbangs are again commonly used amongst a group when infiltrating buildings and breaching rooms to clear. We could use the gas grenade and disorientate our enemies, but I think the flash grenade is better suited for this loadout and is more effective. Simply toss a flash into a room before entering and wait to see that hit marker on screen. That way you know if there's an enemy in there, and for a brief few seconds you have that chance to move in and clean house. So the flash grenade will be our tactical equipment. So now that we've talked about our perks and equipment, it's time to finish off this loadout by taking a look at our field upgrade of choice and our selection of 3 kill streaks. For our field upgrade, we're going to be choosing Dead Silence. JTF2 wear dark green and black balaclavas underneath their helmets to help protect their identities, keep their faces warm in the cold Canadian climate, and to strike fear into the hearts of their foes. Dead Silence features a balaclava on its field upgrade icon, so we'll choose Dead Silence as our field upgrade. Moving on now to our 3 selected kill streaks. For our first kill streak, we're going to be choosing the UAV. JTF2 deal in special reconnaissance to gather and verify intel, and to analyse any data they receive from surveillance drones. The UAV flies high above the map to scout out enemy signatures and paint their marks onto our radar. It might not be that effective since nearly every lobby is full of ghost users, but it's the motive of this loadout, so the UAV will be our first kill streak. For our second kill streak, we're going to be choosing the emergency airdrop. JTF2 are also specialised in parachute insertion to locate themselves behind enemy lines and prepare for a surprise assault. Unless you're playing Ground War or Warzone, you can't parachute onto the map in core multiplayer, but we can use a kill streak that paradrops onto the map with supply crates containing kill streaks for you or the team to call in, and that kill streak is the emergency airdrop, so we'll choose this as our second kill streak to represent that. And finally, for our third kill streak, we're going to be choosing the advanced UAV. Again, we're sticking with the reconnaissance theme here, and what better way to reveal your targets than to see them light up the minimap in real time. The advanced UAV is a high altitude aircraft that scans the map from quite a distance up, and compromises where enemies and their direction are on the radar, so we'll choose the advanced UAV as our third and final kill streak for this loadout. Combining our weaponry, perks, equipment, field upgrade and kill streaks, there won't be any apologies for our foes when we leave them to die. So troops, that wraps up my JTF2 loadout video for Modern Warfare. Next time you boot up Modern Warfare multiplayer, definitely give this class setup a try in game and have fun being an operator of Joint Task Force 2. If you did enjoy this video, then do give the video a thumbs up, I would appreciate it a lot. And if you haven't subscribed already, then make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And while you're at it, make sure you hit the bell notification icon next to it, that way you're always notified as to when I make an upload. If you have any friends who might be interested in this sort of content, then definitely share the video around with them to help my channel and videos get more widespread exposure. And if you want to see any behind the scenes previews of my loadout videos, you can follow me on Twitter at jordanxbrookes for all the latest on there. Keep an eye out for more military themed loadouts and more playstyle loadouts in the near future. If you have any military or playstyle loadout suggestions that you would like to see me cover in the near future, then let me know down in the comment section below. So until the next video, I thank you all for watching, stay true to me troops, and I'll see you in game.